G'day everyone, here we are sitting on the ground at Flat Point on the Wairarapa coast, real world weather. It's an early morning flight, so I've just increased it to daytime a little bit. We're going to fly up the coast, check out Castle Point, which is a new feature in the New Zealand update, and maybe we'll fly through and land at Dannevirke after we've sort of been up the coast and checked it out. So yeah, we'll just get going. We'll see if I don't know what the weather's like. I haven't even checked the forecast, but it doesn't look too bad. We'll get climbing out of here. Bit of wind there. It looks good out to sea. You can just see there's sort of some big fronts around. So I'm interested to see what the contour of the hills and the elevation data is like down here with the newer update. Bit of a patch there that obviously had cloud over it. You can see the texture's been just done with some stock standard stuff. Some good surf the day this was taken. Yeah, this hill country looks neat. These Wairarapa hills, they're definitely a lot more resolution to the terrain than what there was on the previous, before they put out the New Zealand update. We'll just come around and have a little look at some of these. Don't think I've ever flown through this area, but I have flown in the Wairarapa before, and it was just sort of the stock standard what it was before. There wasn't too much detail, whereas this has actually got little undulations all through the sidelings and that, which makes it a lot more believable when you're down low. Bit of rain on the windscreen there. We'll head inland a bit once I've been to Castle Point and check out what's around. We'll follow the Akatea River back in towards Dannevirke, maybe see what the farm country's through there. So I'm just curious to see if they've done a photogrammetry Castle Point, like the rocks and that around there. Done a good job with these cliffs. The texture's a little bit up the side. It's not, obviously not photogrammetry, but still the elevation data's there, which is good. Good to see it's so much more improved with this update. Like, I've tried to make terrain mesh for X-Plane in the past as detailed as this, and I just couldn't find the elevation data to get it anywhere close to this. There's the odd little area I've done where I was able to find like 1 meter resolution stuff, which came out pretty good, but it still doesn't even compare to this, what Microsoft's done or Asobo's done with this one. Sandbar there. If there's some jeeps on the ground there, or some caravans. Get a move on to Castle Point. I'm not even sure how far it is. I didn't even look at the map before I came. I just thought it would be cool to start at the nearest airport to Castle Point and go from there. Bit of sand dunes and things down there by the look of it. Could be when the photo's taken too, because it just looks pretty dry too. Let's turn the generator on. Not sure if this would be Castle Point yet or not. Maybe a bit further out. There's hill country in there, just looks so inviting to go flying through it and explore it all. Definitely something I want to do at some point on multiplayer. Some rocky cliffs down there, bluffs sticking out. Forestry up there that's just been cleared. Come around and we'll go and land a little bit here by some of these cool looking little valleys and that run that back up into the hills. Yeah, look at the landscape with all the little gullies and water washes and that in it, slips. And it must be Castle Point, that peninsula sticking out a little bit further up ahead of us. It's just incredible being able to fly this in a simulator this detailed these days. Fairly major river coming out of here from up in the hills. Just looking at the sea there, it just looks so realistic with the time of day and the weather just foreboding out there on the horizon. Just looking up into all these little gullies and that, just so inviting. Just want to go and explore them all. Yeah, that's looking like Castle Point out the end there. Wonder if they've got all the rock formations photogrammetry or not. We'll find out shortly. Get out nice and low along the beach here. The only thing it's lacking is actual waves breaking up onto the beach. Like, it looks good with the ortho having the surf as part of the photo, but I guess one day in the future we'll have a simulator where we'll actually have waves breaking on the shore, just to give it that even more realistic look. Just such cool country in there. Right, yeah, we're not far out from Castle Point now. These lush little green river flat valleys and that. Someone's done some crops here, like maize or something by the look of it. Hay paddocks maybe. Could be maize, there's a lot of it up through that valley there. Yeah, this is Castle Point, so we'll come out, go out around the end of this big sea cliff here. Definitely looks as though it's hard to tell if it's photogrammetry yet or not, or whether it's just just slightly edited terrain, a bit like Hole in the Rock. Yeah, it looks as though it's just edited terrain. Fortunately, it's not full-on photogrammetry, otherwise we'd have a lot more detail on that rock face. It'd look pretty cool. But I mean, they've obviously still hand-edited it a little bit to bring it out, make it pop like this here with the rock wall around here. Lighthouse. We'll just hover down and have a little look at it. It's actually revolving too, the little the light, and I wonder if it actually works at night. I'll have to test that out in future, I think. Pretty neat. Now the hills here, the detail on the terrain's pretty good. I guess not photogrammetry, but it's still pretty accurate. Right, we'll take off out of here, we'll head up the coast to Akatea, and follow the Akatea River back inland towards Dannevirke. That was magic. Just that early morning sun coming up over the sea. Little settlements along the coast here. Probably all got names. I just haven't got my map in front of me. That's one thing it'd be cool to have a plugin like what Explain does, where you can bring up like the NZ topographical maps on your little, I think it was I can't remember what the tablet app was called, but AviTab maybe. You could bring it up and have all your topographical maps and charts or whatever. But the topographical one was awesome for when you're doing sightseeing trips like this. You can just see all the names of where you're flying over and all the points of interest, river names and etc. Big slips in there, real big slips in there. Few little, must be quite steep when you look at the little slips in that here there scattered throughout the steep terrain. What are we? We're at 700 feet. 600 feet, and those hills are still higher than us just here, so they just sort of come right out and then just drop down to the sea. I'll do a video in Fjordland at some stage in the future and go from Milford Sound south, take a tour through some of the sounds and the fjords, check out some of that really steep terrain and see how that's come out with the new update, because that's one of my favourite areas too to fly in. Some big sand dunes here, that's pretty cool. Some big sand dunes. Right up to the top of that ridge almost, and one's back there. What have we got up here? Sort of, I don't know if it's sand dunes as such, it's just where the slip faces at the look of it. The weather seems to be looking a little bit more clear as we get further north. I wonder if that's Cape Turnagain way up in the distance there on the horizon, if you can see it. Could be. It's quite a brown raw hillside up in the back there. I wonder if it's a fresh pine block or something that's been recently felled. So I think this must be just getting to the sort of south side of Akatea soon. It'll be just up around the corner, I'd say. Yeah, I think this is the river that comes out just south of Akatea. I wonder if it's a track that's been cut into the side of that hill, and it's just the raw. We'll go have a quick look. We've probably got time. It could just be erosion on a bit of a really steep sort of a sideling there. Does look a bit like it. Don't seem to see a track as such along there. Come down low through this little valley. Pop out just south of Akatea. Should be the Akatea Coast Road here somewhere. I think that's it down below. Back up in there's a big section of the road that was taken out by Cyclone Gabrielle. 100 metres or more of it, and I'm not sure if it'll ever be reopened, or it's going to take a while if it is, because it's pretty major. Yep, this is Coast Road where it pops out just into the hill above Akatea itself. We'll follow it through and pop out over top of the town, follow it through to the river mouth and start heading inland. Akatea just under us here. Turn to go back inland. Some big stations around here with some old original homesteads on them. A little bit of a glitch there with the way the river height meets the sea. I think their whole river mouth might have changed with the storm surges with Cyclone Gabrielle. I think it may come out and cut off the corner here now and comes out through where that little bit of tree is, I think, from what I've seen. Right, we'll start following this river inland and end up in Dannevirke. I think there's an airstrip on topographical charts just around here somewhere by the river. I'm not sure if it's actively used. I think there's a hangar there from what I've seen from the road in the past, but whether it's used anymore I'm not sure. I just think it's this one just here on this river flat ahead of us. That red roof, which doesn't actually appear to have a building, is actually a hangar, I think. And the airstrip's sort of a, well, it looks like a bit of a banana shape. But this little bit around the corner here has got a fairly long length to it. Whether I may have fences across it now, though, that's the only thing. Yeah, it does even look like it on this ortho photo. It's got fences across it, so it may not be used. Definitely used to be an airstrip at some point in the past, though. Bit of low cloud hanging way over in the distance there. Wairarapa Hills, eh? Just love the undulations and the terrain in this hill country. The river's still underneath us here, winding its way up, back inland. I'm not sure if that's what we're looking at in the far distance there, up on the skyline, is the Ruahenis or not, or whether they're a little bit further back. Could be a little bit further back. I'm just trying to figure out exactly. It's hard to tell with this sort of haze as to how far I'm actually seeing. when you start flying around in the sim, you sort of realise, like, as much as we think New Zealand's a small country, we're actually this. At ground level, it's a decent size. Is that an ag airstrip down there just below us on the ridge line there? Could be. It's hard to tell. May just be a track if it's a steep sidling beside it. There'll probably be a few ag airstrips around in here, I dare say, somewhere. Scattered throughout. And on the road from Dannevirke to Akatea, I think it takes about 50-55 minutes to drive out, so I'm not exactly sure what it is in kilometres, but it shouldn't take us too long to get there in the 500. It does look so it could be the Ruahinis way up ahead of us in the distance there. So we're doing around us. Not too bad. Big erosion on those cliffs down below us down here on the side of whatever stream that is, or river. There we're seeing the Ruahinis in the distance now. Right on the skyline in front under that sort of dark cloud. We'll have to go visit some of the huts in the Ruahinis on a future flight too. There's quite a few places that have some spectacular views up in there to go check out the new update. The road just down there below us. What we could do on the next video after this one is we could take off from Dannevirke and we'll continue our flight and we'll fly through and land at Helisika base from Dannevirke and fly through the back of the Kaweka ranges and up through there, northern end of the Ruahinis, etc. Yeah, it's just neat country. Where's the road gone? Might be out to our right a little bit here, I think. We'll get out a bit lower now. Start following the road into Dannevirke. Little ponds there on that farm. road go? Oh, up the hill there. Come around this hill and find it again. There it goes again, I think. Yeah, look like it. Big tracks cut into the hills around here. Must be for some farms. Road must go out to our right around the back of this stuff. Yeah, some neat little valleys here and ridges, and just keeping my eyes peeled for any little ag airstrips we can buzz. We may have come in a little bit far north. We may have more closer to Waipakara than Dannevirke, I think. It could be Dannevirke back to the south over there, or sort of southwest of us. Can't sort of read the map, so I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter, we'll land somewhere. That does look like could be Dannevirke just to the south of us there. Yeah, that's right, the road I think must have swung back and come out through that big wider flatter valley back over there. I got a bit sidetracked looking at that higher hill behind us. I'm not exactly sure where the airport is, or the airfield is at Dannevirke, so we'll just have a bit of a scout around when we get there. Got a few crop paddocks out around here, and these big open wide river flats. Bales down in that paddock down there. Looks to be wrapped bales on the aerial photo. Alright, we'll just look out for the Dannevirke airfield, because I think that's the town just immediately to our 1 o'clock just there. I have a feeling the airport could be on the south side of the town. Might be just straight ahead of us actually. There's something showing up there, it's quite hard to see what it is. Some sort of a sand pit, something down there. That's the road just down below us there that comes in from, oh no, this one here actually. I was getting mixed up, there's two parallel ones, but it's this one here that comes through from Akatea, which is the one we were following at the start. This looks like it could be the runway just over in front of us here. Dannevirke town just there. Turn around, we're coming on extended centre line of the runway. And we'll just come and land over here by this little clubhouse on the end here, or whatever it is, or a hangar. So a little concrete pad there for us to land on. Alright, we'll roll her off there. Turn on my controller, go to sleep. Oh, we've got a black screen, all the controller switches on. I hope it comes back, there we go. Interesting, so the hand controller's working today and it wasn't the last one, but it did say batteries were flat, so I wonder if it doesn't work when the batteries are getting low for some reason. But yeah, anyway, that's this flight done. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit different, just through some Wairarapa country, and we'll catch you on the next one.